Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Y'all doing all right? We are here to talk about another important subject that I've just been hitting on all week. I am just so grateful for everybody that has been tuning in and that have been supporting my journey as I get it out the mud as a now full-time entrepreneur and a once a person who had to juggle both work, full-time job, entrepreneurship, running a nonprofit organization, doing a whole bunch of stuff. I am really working through my challenges of being a full time entrepreneur. And so I am grateful for all of the support, all of the love, because it is definitely not for the weak at heart. Okay. It is not for the weak at heart. And so last week I shared some personal things with you all about my journey. I don't really like saying struggle, but I definitely was on a struggle bus a few days last week. And so it's the first month of 2025. We're almost at the end of the first month of 2025, and it's one of those things that a lot of things are happening. There's political things that are going on, there's financially things that are going on, and for everybody's going through a transition. And so today I want to talk about survival mode. Survival mode. And to be honest with you, I've been in survival mode my whole entire life. Okay. I've been in survival mode my whole entire life, and make sure nobody don't interrupt our calls. I mean, I don't get no phone calls while I'm talking to y'all today. Personal. Okay, perfect. It's on. And survival mode isn't just about struggling financially, although that is a heavy, heavy part. Survival mode can be your mental state. It can be where your mind is just running on fumes, right? Your mental state is running on fumes. And so, some of the signs of survival mode that I found for myself was that I was always busy and I really felt like I was getting nowhere. Like, I honestly felt like that everything that I did um, was just a huge circle, just a huge cycle. And so the other thing is me react. I was making like really reactive decisions. Um, just to make it to another month. I was going from month to month, for real, from hour to hour. I was going from hour to hour, a minute by minute. And it was more of reactive decisions. I was letting life run me instead of me running my own life. And what I realized for a second, I thought that I was alone. I thought that I was the only person that felt that way. And as I connect with other parentpreneurs, parent business owners that have to manage life, and even parents that are not business owners, I mean, if you're working two or three jobs, you often find yourself in the same mode where you're in survival mode. And so, another way that I was able to identify survival mode was I would say yes to everything, even if it drained me. Y'all know, some of y'all witness out there, okay? Those that know me. Like, I was always getting told, when are you gonna start saying no? And so saying yes to everything was one of the telltale signs that I was in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you oftentimes make really bad choices with both your time and your energy. And so I couldn't even tell that I was in survival mode and the impact that it was having on just being, going in circles. Like my mom used to say, running around like a chicken with your head cut off. That's basically, what I was experiencing. And so the next thing, I have a few more things, is that I was really too tired to think long term. I was always making decisions quick on my feet, and sometimes that's a positive thing, and other times you're just doing it just to get through the day. Yeah, I was doing it just to get through my day. And last but not least, I felt like that I couldn't afford to stop working. I felt like that if I would drop a ball, it would literally be the end. And it was honestly, y'all, it was honestly exhausting. Drop a fire emoji if you've ever been in survival mode. If you ever have experienced these things, whether it's being too tired to think long term, or just being always busy and feeling like you're not getting anywhere. It really is, and I had to come to the hard truth that if I'm always grinding just to survive, I'll literally never have energy. I won't have any. I won't have any capacity, any energy, mental energy, and physical energy to build something sustainable. And I had to ask the question, why am I hustling harder? Is that really the answer? Is that really going to get me somewhere? Uh, it's historically, as melanated people, especially since we've endured 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow and all the things. We were taught that if we weren't grinding and hustling, that we weren't doing anything. And I think um, that there was honor in driving yourself down to the ground. And even as a woman, a melanated woman, uh, I think, to be a workhorse is something that was innately taught to me, is that I am the person that's supposed to carry the load, all of the load. And when you do that, oftentimes you find yourself going through a vicious cycle of exhaustion. And so there are two things that help me overcome survival mode. And one is just to identify that I was in survival mode, and continuously, continuously recognize when I am acting in survival mode, because when you're so used to doing it, you oftentimes don't even realize that's what you're doing. And so, thinking that more work equals more progress, even if your system is broken, doesn't allow you to have what you need. And it certainly have you putting more effort without fixing it. And so, you can't outwork bad strategy. I'm going to say that again. You cannot outwork bad strategy. And if you're constantly chasing instead of building wealth, you ultimately stuck. So the other thing is, I had to ask myself a question: What am I just working just to stay afloat, or am I really achieving my goals? Um, am I too tired to think ahead, or am I just staying in the day to day survival mode? Um, am I hustling am I hustling, and is it growing my bank account? I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm scheduling a whole bunch of meetings. And last but not least, y'all, this is real bad. I used to actually feel bad about getting rest. Hey, Kezia, make sure you get some rest. Oh, you drinking water, you resting. I'm not getting no rest. And if I were to ask you, is this what you go through? And if you say yes to most of these, you're probably in survival mode too. And so the first step to getting out of survival mode is to first admit it. Just admit and recognize that you are operating in survival mode. That's one of the reasons for the cycle. Okay. It's one of the reasons for the cycle. And you can't fix it if you don't acknowledge it. And so, I had to come to terms. I ain't like it when someone said that, oh, sounds like you're in survival mode. I kind of got offended. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Okay. Ain't even gonna lie. But at the end of the day, I really just had to do my best to really snap out of it um and come to a turning point. And that turning point came one day when I realized I was so exhausted. I was so broken and I still wasn't winning. And I was out here hustling like crazy, trying to connect the dots, trying to go to all these meetings, go to try to connect with the right people, having exhausting conversation. Have you ever been on the phone with somebody for 2 hours and it didn't turn out to be nothing? I had to stop doing that. If I had to like when I when I would get on phone calls, I would have to literally set a timer because you can find yourself thinking that you're building rapport, but end up wasting time when you really should be doing something else. And somehow, my bank account didn't reflect all the time and effort that I was doing in doing that. And so I had to make a shift. I had to stop trading all my time for money or what I thought was incoming money and saying yes to everything, overloading myself with saying yes to everything, trying to, as my brother called me, he used to call me, my brother John, shout out to him. He used to call me Save the World Sister. He was like, he said, "You're Save the World Sister. You're my Save the World Sister." And Stop trying to save everything and everybody. It's not your job to be spending your time caring about choices that have nothing to do with your life. And so something else that I did was I raised my prices. And sometimes raising your prices going from $0 to $5. Because all that time and energy of me giving advice to people and taking time, it was just nothing wrong with that on a charity basis. But, you know, you have to raise your prices and focus on one main income stream until it gets off the ground. I started automating and outsourcing. That was helpful, especially cleaning. Outsourcing cleaning. Shout out to Feel Good Cleaning. Y'all got to check her out. My girl Trinae. I'll drop her link later. And the second thing that I did was I started making decisions for my future, not just my present. And in order to even make decisions for my future, I had to take a break. I think like those snow days and a few other days where the holidays helped me to kind of sit back. Instead of running around during the holidays like New Year's and stuff like that, I literally just didn't do nothing. So, because I needed that time to actually think about my future. And so the New Year's is usually when most people do that. Some people spend their time partying or going to being around other people, but I took that time to just spend time with myself so that I can plan for my future. Because when you're in survival mode, like I was in survival mode, I only thought about what was before me that day, and I hadn't really started planning. Um, in advance. So I decided to plan 6 months in advance, 1 year in advance, 5 year in advance, and take a journal and do that. Um, and I also cut distractions. I stopped doing things out of desperation and I built a real strategy. Sometimes vision boards are really good, but before you even get to a vision board, you just need to draw out stick figures before you get to a vision board to put together a strategy. So that's how I stopped grinding on empty and actually started making moves, started making progress. And I had to get clear on what was keeping me stuck. That took some time. That took conversations with other people to kind of, learn what they observed. Even though I know myself, I had to spend some time and get a thorough opinion from people that know me. And so, if you are stuck in a cycle of overwork, underpricing yourself, and that's both in time and money, and making bad decisions, you definitely want to shift from the hustling mindset to the building mindset. Specifically with everything, replay this video, take some notes, uh, take some time for yourself, and start making decisions that will help you lead to long term versus short-term survival. So if you're ready to join me, and we do this together as a village, right? Parents out the mud into legacy, out the mud into profit. Attend my workshop. My workshop is going to be on February the 20th. We have a few seats left. You can go to my website, parentsoutthemud.com, and register. And I definitely appreciate everybody's support. And I cannot wait to see how everyone is progressing with me as we connect together and um, as we grow. So see y'all out of the mud into legacy. See y'all next time.